Welcome, everyone. Like Heather just introduced us. I'm Anthony. We have Heather as well. Just going to go do just a very quick final webinar here, just to go over any questions, go over all the learnings that we all went through this year, as well as if you have any feedback for us. Oh, there we go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the grant requirements, and then the submission form, and then after that we will go into our questions and feedback. Heather, do you want to take the grant requirements?
Sure. So everything is in two buckets. The first one is updating your website. And that is just making sure that cartons are included on your website, that they're communicated accurately. And we had provided a couple of examples and best practices in the past, but certainly if you still need that information, just send an email or even put it in the chat right now and we can make sure you get it. The second bucket is that you have to demonstrate at least two examples. You can do more, but at least two to qualify of a communication or marketing material. And this is a group of categories. The sky's the limit. So if you have something that's not here, feel free to ask us, but chances are, we're excited to hear what kinds of things. So the idea with this is that it's an example of communicating or promoting your recycling program to your residents. And cartons don't have to be the hero, or it doesn't have to be exclusively about cartons, because we recognize that most of the time when you're communicating to residents about your recycling program, you're promoting everything that should be recycled. So we just need cartons to be included in that mix of things, but they don't need to be the number one hero by any means. But they can be. So, so social media is one example. And that is, to Instagram, Facebook, whatever your favorite thing is for reaching your constituents. Another is just marketing materials, which could be a fly. This could literally be like, oh, there's a coffee shop that everyone in town goes to, and we put a poster up reminding people to recycle, and here's what should be recycled. Anything. Events, which just in the few years we added a virtual event as well as in person for obvious reasons. Probably the events now are back to in person, but open to anything about that. Whether it's if you were to do paid advertising, or you're in a situation where a local media outlet would donate space, that would definitely be counted. Earned media, if you get a news article in any sort of local paper, a podcast, really anything like that. So any questions on this? Awesome. All right. Next slide, please.
So this year we will be using Google Forms as a way of allowing all of you to submit all the information and all the links and activities that you have done this year. It's very simple. Just ask for all of the main information that you used when you applied, as well as a way to provide a link for the updated website, as well as ways for you to also communicate what were your two communication methods. Now, if you have trouble using Google Forms, please just email us at carton.recycling@hmkstrategies.com, and we will send you a Word version. And then we just ask that you complete that Word version and then send us the link as well as the two activities that you have. Any questions on the submission form? Okay, we'll go to the next one then. So what's next? We are now officially less than a month away from the submission due date, which is December 1st. Just thank you again for everyone that has already submitted their submission forms. You do have until December 1st. Anybody that is participating may receive a $2,000 award just by filling out the submission forms and demonstrating the two communication examples that you did. And then there is an opportunity if to see who has done the best, a little contest to see who's done the best. and you could potentially win up to an additional $3,000.
Cool. And I'll just add something on this just in case people are curious about the timing. What we do in December, as you guys know, December goes by very fast. It's a really short month with the holidays. We go through after December 1st and make sure all the submissions have everything. Sometimes things aren't transferred right, or like a link doesn't work, or whatever. And we want to support you, and we want everyone to get this. So sometimes people forget the second activity or whatever. So we might be in touch to, hey, this was a little, let's add this link, or, just to make sure. So that usually takes a tiny bit of time. Then when everything's all said and done, we'll be putting out a press release, kind of recognizing everyone who participated. We might highlight some of the activities. So just know that anything you do submit, like an image and whatnot, we would love to promote. We'll take a sampling of those and maybe include links or those images and press stuff. That will probably not happen until January just because of time. And as far as like payment coming, we work with the Carton Council themselves, and usually what they do is just a wire transfer. And so we'll be in touch about the logistics for making that wire transfer happen. Every once in a while, someone needs a check cut instead. While I can't guarantee it, I'm not positive payment will happen in December. That might be in early 2024, just in case, people are wondering. Any questions on any of that? Cool. All right. So I know there's only 2 people on here, so we can, bag off early if we want. But, one of the things that this is the 3rd time that we've done the Community Education Award. The first time was similar to this, where it was just sort of wide open to a wide array of communities. Last year was a very small program. I can't remember how many were participating, but I think in all cases they had just gotten cartons into their program. And then this year is obviously back to, it was kind of open to whoever wanted to participate. So I think there's a few who've accepted cartons for a long time, and a few who might be new. And I think also there's a few people or organizations who kind of were already had cartons pretty well on their website. And so we're sort of already doing this, and then all the way down to some who hadn't included that on the website and hadn't really been doing a lot of communication. So it's kind of the whole gamut. I feel like we're always shaping things because on what works, what's needed the most. And I'll give you one example, is that we have heard from communities and entities like yourselves that your time and resources are so limited. So it's not realistic that people are going to spend a marketing effort that's exclusively on any one commodity, unless that commodity was just added. And then you want to make sure residents know about it. But in your general marketing, it really makes more sense and to kind of focus on everything. Is there any feedback, good or bad, anything at all that you would want to share, and what we could kind of considerations for next go round, or things that you liked, things that were confusing, whatever. And also recognizing you haven't submitted yet, so that might be a whole nother set of feedback. But anything at all.
This is Teresa Baker, and I really liked the fact that you gave some helpful graphics to put on. I can't remember if one of them was not a JPEG, and that was the reason I couldn't share it on social media. But just that would be really helpful to make sure that anything that you submit as a helpful tool to add on your web page or on social media, that it is JPEG format for those of us who don't have capability of changing that.
That's awesome. Thank you. Anything else?
This is Anna. I feel that there were just so many helpful resources, and like the specific kind of combing through of our websites and making sure that we didn't have to go find the things, that you did that work for us. That was really, really helpful. Yeah, this has been a very positive experience. So thank you.
Cool. Do you mind if I ask, were you both already accepted Cartons, or were Cartons kind of new to come onto your programs?
I am not sure. I think we were already accepting Cartons, but I've only been with the city of High Point for about going on 4 months.
Oh, okay.
So I'm making some upgrades and clear communications changes, and so I made sure that Cartons were on there of all kinds. So I'll be continuing to spread that word and have done so.
And this is Anna. They were already accepted. I know that we've done work with the Carton Council prior to when I came to EcoCycle, which was just at the beginning of this year. So, but it's also just been a very informative process for me, learning through this application. So.
Yes, I agree. And your resources were very helpful. Thank you for making them available to us instead of having us to go out and look for images and things of that nature. That is extremely helpful.
Cool. All right. Good to hear. Anthony, I think there's one more slide, maybe that's like
yes, that's
it's just an email.
last
Yeah,
one.
we're good. So yeah, so if you're not following us on all of our social channels, please do so. And I think we will follow you back if you do. And in the meantime, just December 1st, you can certainly submit anytime up until then. And let us know if you have any questions at all, and just know that when you submit, we'll be checking. And the last thing we want is you to go through all this and then don't qualify because it's the wrong file or the link's broken or whatever. So we'll work with you to make sure that everything is all in line too. So awesome.
Good news.
Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.